just when you thought United were out of the woods with controversy in the media, I mean, we're literally just coming off the back of Sir Jim Ratcliffe announcing that he's willing to give Ruben Amorim 3 more years to prove himself. Just as we're trying to wrap our heads around that news, in the past 48 hours, and I'm sure you guys have heard by now, we've got reports coming from Turki Alalshikh. All right? And this is what he posted on X, and I'm sure you guys have already heard about this already, but just in case you haven't, this is what he said 48 hours ago. The best news I heard today is that Manchester United is now in an advanced stage of completing a deal to sell to a new investor. I hope he's better than the previous owners, right? Now, it's so weird because when he says previous owners, the Glazers are currently still our owners. So it's almost like he's talking in the past tense, like this deal has already happened. And like he said in his tweet, right, they're in the stages of completing this takeover deal. And of course, you know, with every United news, it gets out to all the media outlets. They run the story. Everyone's got their theories. Everyone's got their opinions. And then 24 hours ago, we now start getting more concrete information, more details about what exactly is going on, right? And now we're hearing that it's actually not coming from Saudi, it's coming from the UAE. And there's a group of legends who are going to be possibly involved in this deal that's going to happen, or this deal that's currently in the phase of it happening, all right? So here's where we are right now. One thing's for sure, no one knows exactly what's going on, right? Apart from Turki Alalshikh. He seems to have the lowdown. He seems to have the information that we are not privy to, that something is happening in the works and we should be alert about it. All right? Sorry, just getting notifications. And that we should be alert about it. And I'm thinking to myself, this is such a really awkward time for this type of news to be coming out. And why would he even be putting out this information at this point in time? Because his second tweet that he followed up with, he was speaking about talking from a fan's point of view. Now, if he's talking from a fan's point of view, I'm pretty sure that even himself knows that change of ownership is not really going to affect anything that's happening at this club at the current stage. Now, obviously, yes, you know, we tend to look to the future. We tend to see, okay, if these guys come in and they buy the club, X, Y, Z will change and things could start looking better in the future. Now, that's already happening under the current management of the Ineos group, right? They've set out a game plan, already know that they're going to be building a new stadium. They've fixed up the training grounds. You know, there's a lot of things that are happening. There's a game plan, right? We already know what the plan is. We may not like the Ineos group. We may not trust Sir Jim Ratcliffe, but there is already an existing project, right? Whether we like it or not, we have to see it through. And for those people who are on Amorim's side, it's good news for you guys, right? Because he has told the fans, he has let Ruben Amorim know that he's willing to wait. He's willing to be patient to see how this project and this plan plays out. Now, here's the twist, okay? Why would Sir Jim come out and say that and not know that there's a possibility that this club could be bought out and himself could also be bought out of the club, right? And another thing, these deals don't just happen out of thin air, all right? They don't. This year, we recently had a lot of finalizations on the new stadium, where it's going to be, who's going to build it, when is it going to be complete, etc., etc. Why would he be involved in all these plans if he knew that there's a possibility of this club being owned by new people, right? And there also could be a possibility of him being bought out of the club. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. There's a break somewhere, you know? It almost feels like this is a distraction from something we don't know what we're being distracted from. So I would take this news with a pinch of salt. I would. I had a conversation with Ben before, and we're talking about the story that is broken out, and we're trying to like, should we speak about it or what? Because I told him that, look, I want to make a video about this. I want to put it out there because it's news that's concerning our club at this current point in time, and it's taking over the headlines, right? And he never really had any interest in talking about it, and when he said it, it sort of like clicked, and it's like, why are we talking about this? Why do I feel like I need to be invested in this news, which is clearly just a distraction? It may not be an intentional distraction, but it is a distraction nonetheless. And obviously, United being such a big club of like how it is, it obviously takes over the headlines, it takes over the news. People want to sell papers, people want clicks, right? It's just one of those things. It's United. There's always some controversy around this club. So, how do I feel about this? It's hard to tell, right? I sort of want to see out this 3-year plan because I think United have really got to that point in time where we just really have to accept where we are, and we have to understand that to get to some level of football that we can all appreciate will take time. We have to be patient about this, right? And I feel like bringing in new management in this club, it could be a good thing, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, fans need to realize that it's still going to be a new project, right? If they come in and they decide to dismantle everything, like how the Ineos group came in, well, to be fair, before the Ineos group came in, this club had no structure. It had no goals. It had no plan set in motion of how we're going to get the club from here to there, right? So Jim came in with a clear roadmap of how he feels, or how this club, should get back to top flight football, right? He came out, he sat down, he fired who he needed to fire, he brought in who he needed to bring in, he had this whole structure in the football club of who's going to be managing this, who's going to be running that, etc., etc., etc. All right. So new guys come in. We don't know if they're going to just add on. We don't know if Sir Jim is still going to be at the club and be allowed to run it the way he wants to run it, or the new guys are going to come in and say, scrap all of that, we're starting from scratch. We don't want Ruben Amorim, we want someone else. Someone else comes in, and then again, it's a whole change in personnel. The staff, the players, everything starts from ground zero again. The thing is that something that we want? Is that what United need right now? Sir Jim recently just acquired some stake into the club and recently only started trying to build something at this club. Is it too soon for us to start looking at, look, if the new owners come in and the Glazers are out, I think that's a good step in the right direction. Would I want Sir Jim to also be bought out immediately? I don't know. Time will tell, right? But one thing I know for sure is that whatever happens, if whoever's out there listening to this news and they think, oh yes, get rid of the Glazers, bring in the new guys, whoever it's going to be, and you think there's going to be this magical turnaround, it's not going to happen. But obviously that's a conversation for another day. But anyway, guys, leave your thoughts, your opinions in the comment section, and let me know how you guys feel about this, because I'm being honest with you guys, I really don't know how to take this news. I'm just taking it as it comes, Yeah, I don't know. Like, let me know. What do you guys think about this? Do you think it's good, that we have someone who's trying to take over the club? Do you think it's not a good idea? Do you think it's too soon? I don't know. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and catch you on the next one. Peace.